Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 285. Yes, I am back from holiday, back to the studio, so everything back to normal. And Elon continues to do the impossible, but with xAI, he makes the impossible early. And Tesla has officially opened their Tesla diner, and it seems like it is already a big success. And Tesla did once again confirm that the more affordable models are coming, but Elon might have let the cat out of the bag. And Tesla is already expanding its Robotaxi service to other cities. And Mercedes is waking up and now wants to collect data from cars. Now wonder where they got that bright idea from. And we see Porsche's profits have declined by about 70% in the first half of 2025. And the Chinese, they might be good at EVs, but they still have a long way to go when it comes to full self-driving systems, as a new test shows. All of this and much more in today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
So Elon continues to do the impossible, but with xAI, he's not making the impossible late as he does with Tesla. He's making the impossible come early and making it look easy. So, if you thought what xAI have done with their huge 200,000 GPU coherent supercomputer was crazy, as everyone else thought it was impossible just to do 100,000 units, and xAI built it in 19 days, about 20 times faster than anyone else knew how to, well, Elon just pushed the bar for impossible things once again, as he wrote on X. The xAI goal is 50 million in units of H100 equivalent AI compute, but much better power efficiency, online within 5 years. Now that is crazy. We are talking about more than $1 trillion in compute they want to build in just 5 years. Something I think Nvidia is jumping up and down of excitement to hear. Like the CEO of Supermicro also wrote to Elon's post, "Love your big but achievable ambition, Elon Musk. We are here ready to support your AI visions. Croc Optimus Robotaxi, our DLC2 DC-BBS will be the most energy efficient and the quickest way to power your AI gigafactories." Yes, the GPU manufacturer is going to be lining up in front of Elon to get in on these deals with xAI. Maybe even Tesla will be selling their Dojo chip to xAI, as I think xAI will take whatever they can get their hands on with these huge numbers they want to achieve. So Tesla might start selling some AI chips in a couple of years as well. Just yet another new business case inside of Tesla. And Lincoln also wrote about xAI's Colossal 2 compute that they're working on right now. Mind-blowing. When Colossal 2 is built by xAI, it will have over 11 times more compute than the next 9 largest AI support cluster combined. Yes, there is simply no catching up with xAI anymore. They are moving way too fast and accelerating faster than anyone knows how to. As Elon also wrote himself on X, 230,000 GPUs, including 30,000 GB200, are operational for training Croc xAI in a single supercluster called Colossal 1. Inference is done by our cloud providers. At Colossal 2, the first batch of 550,000 GB200s and GB300s, also for training, start going online in a few weeks. As Jensen Huang has stated, xAI is unmatched in speed. It's not even close. Yes, the numbers are absolutely insane. Remember, just a year ago, the competition in the field thought Elon's claim about 100,000 coherent GPUs was impossible. And now they are about to turn on another 550,000 coherent GPU clusters and are aiming for 1 million with the Colossal 2, and will continue until they hit 50 million in about 5 years. And just a little over 2 years ago, this company didn't even exist. And Tesla has officially opened their Tesla Diner, with France opening the doors, inviting everyone in.
Hi, I'm Franz. It's 4:20, and welcome to the Hollywood Tesla Diner and Supercharger. First of its kind. On behalf of everyone at Tesla, I announce the doors are officially open. So come on down, eat, charge, and watch a movie and enjoy yourself. Guys, come on in. Welcome to the diner.
And I know it can seem like a nothing burger, no pun intended. Actually, they should make a nothing burger. But anyway, this is actually a very, very cool place. Like when you look under the skin of their Tesla cars, that is where Teslas really shine. With all they have done in manufacturing and engineering, and have the safest car in the world, and making the octovalve and so much more. The same thing is true about the diner, as Nick also pointed out. One of the most impressive part of Tesla's diner is the ingredients that they have sourced. This isn't like any other fast food place. Tesla has sourced sustainable organic ingredients that is actually good for you. Below is the list of where they get their ingredients from. Kudos to Tesla for this. And Elon also replied, ingredients are sourced from local farms. This is so cool. Tesla is not just making a cheap place with some crappy food. This is how all restaurants should do it. Source locally. But the whole place just looks very, very cool. And even the toilet seems to be an experience, with a fake window in the ceiling that looks like you're in a space station looking down on Earth. But the coolest thing is, when you're driving to this Tesla diner with it in your navigation, the car will suggest to you when you're getting close to order in advance. And you can of course do that on the screen in your Tesla car. And it looks so smooth. And this is just such a good showcase of how Tesla is very different from any other legacy automakers. Because none of the old guys would be able to do this, as they don't know how to make software, as Jim Farley have said himself. So they would not be able to build this diner and then have it all work seamlessly with their cars and integrate it into the user interface. And you can stream the sound from these huge screens into your car and so on. So Tesla just showed that they have an ecosystem that the old guys can only dream about. And they of course had this big light show at the launch. And not even that the old guys can do. And here Tesla is just having their car dancing in synchronization and having Optimus robot serve popcorn to the people while customers order their food in their car on the screen, while the sound from the big screens are streaming into the cars while they are charging on Tesla's own superchargers at this huge, beautiful supercharging station. Something you will never see from Volkswagen or Ford or anyone else, as they simply don't know how to do this, as they can't do software. So this really shows us the difference between Tesla and the old guys. They can build cars, but Tesla can build cars, build software, build AI and robots. Basically enables Tesla to build anything they like. Here they have just decided to make a diner, and of course it's a very cool diner that is grabbing headlines around the world, not something you normally see when someone opens a diner. So I really hope Tesla will do more of these. As Elon said, if it becomes a success, they will open more. And I just can't see how this should not be a success, as CNBC also tried it out and was very impressed with the diner and the food, and it looks like it is already a big success.
We got our order. We have the grilled cheese, side of bacon with electric sauce, and then we got the Tesla burger. They also have this souvenir cup, which we ordered for our drinks. Our sandwiches came in these really cute Cybertruck boxes. Good burger, nice char on the patty. I like the bun too. Oh, that's really good. The sauce is good too. I'm not even sure what's in the sauce, but pairs well with the bacon. So first impressions is the food is pretty good.
The food was pretty good. I think it was actually pretty good. I probably will be back, bring my girl, and let her get the experience of this. But I'm gonna do it way after all the hype is over with. I hope the robots are available for me to get at a decent price, because I probably will get one.
Food is pretty good, and I was very impressed by the robots serving popcorn. I would probably bring friends, more than likely friends from out of town. They would be very impressed coming to a place like this.
So it's pretty cool. It has a very vintage vibe, but futuristic vibe at the same time. Has a nice screen that you can watch while you charge your car. If you're a Tesla owner and if you order from your car ahead of time, you don't have to wait in line. We waited for about an hour and 30 minutes.
Less than 24 hours after opening, the line at the Tesla diner stretched down the block. Elon Musk says if the diner goes well, he's looking to put them in major cities around the world.
So it really looks like it is already a big success. So hopefully in most major cities around the world we will have these great Tesla diner experience that will only get better and better as the car can drive us autonomously to this diner, and we will be served food by Optimus robots and so on. The future with Tesla is going to be a lot of fun. And Tesla did once again confirm that the more affordable models are coming, but Elon might have let the cat out of the bag. But because of the EV tax credits that it's going away, I think this is why they are pushing out the affordable versions to Q4, because Tesla did confirm that they are already producing it and will ramp up production in Q3 but not start deliveries before Q4. And that makes a lot of sense, as the EV tax credits going away is going to give Tesla a lot of demand here in Q3 for their current models, the Model Y, Model 3. So to release the more affordable models now will just cannibalize the potential for more sales on the more expensive cars because of this tax credit. So Tesla will ride the wave of ending tax credit in Q3 with the current model, but then add one or two more affordable models in Q4, making sure that Tesla sales doesn't drop out of the sky in Q4 in the US because of their car suddenly becomes $7,500 more expensive. So I think this is a great move and will probably make Tesla sales more stable throughout the rest of the year, even with all this uncertainty. And if they are already producing it and ramping it up during Q3, they should have a nice big amount ready to sell as soon as Q4 starts. And this will probably be on a global scale in all 4 factories at once, as we did also see footage from the Berlin factory where we could see like 30 to 40 vehicles being deliberately concealed and covered and surrounded. So they could bring in some nice numbers in Q4 for Tesla. And in the earnings call, Elon might have let the cat out of the bag, as he jokingly said at the earnings call that one of the new more affordable versions is just a Model Y. As he also talked about, it is not the lack of desire for their products that we haven't had more sales, it's the lack of being more affordable. So they want the price to come down. So I don't think we should expect a completely new design in the form of a small compact hatchback or something like that. I think it'd be more like a stripped down Model Y, but probably with a shorter wheelbase, as we have already seen Tesla come out with the Model Y L, the longer version of the Model Y. So it could make sense for them to come out with a shorter version as well, to also make it into a new model and change it up a bit, of course, so they don't look completely similar. But I am, of course, just guessing, so I could be completely wrong, but we probably have to wait a couple of months to learn more about the affordable models and what they're going to look like, and what effect that will have on Tesla's demand. And Nick also shared some of the things that Tesla could delete in the more affordable version, like smaller batteries, no light bar, single pane windows, glass roof delete, no rear screens, less speakers, manual trunk, textile cloth seats, no ambient light, no rear heated seat or ventilated front seat, no front trunk storage, no front camera, smaller, more basic wheel design. I think it can be reasonable to assume that Tesla will follow the same formula as the Cybertruck truck long range. I think this is a reasonable assumption, and I know people like Gary Black thinks that this is a big mistake from Tesla, as he is very focused on Tesla making a completely new model, because otherwise he don't think it will open up new markets for Tesla, as he wrote on X. A lower priced trim within the Model Y family will earn Tesla no incremental volume, as any volume earned by cutting cost and price will simply cannibalize higher priced trim. I actually disagree with that, as there will be a huge difference if they make the car shorter as well and do all the changes we just talked about. So for me personally, I would want the Model Y Juniper with all the bells and whistles, so I would not be changing my buying decisions to a smaller, less capable version of the Model Y. No, I want the real Model Y. But there will be a lot of people that could not afford a Tesla before that now will. And I think the price point is exactly what will open up new markets. And as long as they make sure to differentiate the models enough so that people that want what the Model Y offers today will not settle for what the new version offers. Because like we know from this chart from Arkin West, where we can see the market share by price, it doesn't really matter what kind of car it is. The price is what determines what size of the market you are in. Like Volkswagen that have 6 different SUV models here in my country, but at different price points. So if Tesla can make a smaller version of the Model Y and the Model 3 as well, of course, we will get kind of new models. But more importantly, if the new models are something like $10,000 cheaper for the customer, so the Tesla starting price will be something like just above $30,000 instead of just about $40,000. That will make Tesla go from just about 5% of the market to 40% of the market. That is huge. It doesn't really matter what kind of hatchback or compact model this car is. The price difference here is going to matter a lot. So I personally think this will earn Tesla more volume and open up new markets and will not cannibalize Tesla's better and bigger versions too much. Just like Apple has the iPhone and the Pro and the Pro Max, not cannibalizing too much on each other, as some people just want that big screen and don't care about the more affordable versions. And I think the same will be true about Tesla's new, more affordable cars. And Tesla is already expanding its Robotaxi service to other cities. So it has only been less than 2 weeks since Tesla expanded its Robotaxi area in Austin, but now they're getting ready to deploy it in San Francisco as well. According to Insider, the Robotaxi service in the Bay Area is set to launch as soon as Friday. Thus, some Tesla owners in the area should have received invites to use the driverless ride-hailing service. Similar to the Austin pilot, the Robotaxi rides will reportedly be paid service. So this is also happening within a month from when they launched their first service in Austin. They have expanded their area and added a new city. For reference, Waymo started in Phoenix in 2017, went public in 2020, and in 2022 they expanded the area in Phoenix for the first time. So it took Waymo more than 5 years just to make their first expansion in Phoenix, and they added San Francisco in August 2021. So 4 years after their first pilot in Phoenix, they added another city. So Tesla has expanded and made another city in just 1 month. This should show people that Tesla is able to scale much faster than what Waymo has been able to do. And I know people like Gary Black don't see this as a fully autonomous because they have safety passengers in the passenger seat. But the car is driving itself fully autonomously. Tesla is just being super careful, but in time they will remove the safety driver, and it will not take 3 years as it did with Waymo in Phoenix. Tesla will pretty soon, probably within the next few months, drop the safety driver in the area they are allowed to do so. Because in San Francisco, Tesla might not have the permits yet to drive without the safety driver in the driver's seat, and because of that, Gary of course don't see any reason to do this, because then Tesla can't scale. Well, they can start in another city, check that everything is working as it's supposed to, and when they get the permit to operate without safety drivers, they can. It really seems like Gary is not getting that the more Tesla cars are driving themselves, the better they get at driving themselves. It's not like Waymo, which has not really got much better over the last 5 years, because it's not an AI that is driving the car, but just programming with digital rails. So the more robotaxis a Tesla can safely get on the street, the better. That Gary doesn't seem to understand that is pretty scary, but the man is still betting on Uber instead of Tesla, so I think this post from Gary will look very stupid in just 1 to 2 years. It is like talking about Blockbuster and how it was growing and looking very strong even in 2004, where they had their strongest year ever. And Netflix was founded in 1997. Disruption is never immediate. But if you understand the technology, you will be able to see what is coming. Gary clearly does not understand the underlying technology, as he is betting on Blockbuster and doesn't see Netflix coming in fast, because Tesla continues to show that their system can operate anywhere on the planet without LiDAR mapping, so they do have the scalability, as they have just shown off yet another video, this time from London. So now we have seen them operating in Australia, Rome, Madrid, Amsterdam, Berlin, London, and Paris. But not only that, remember how their system could handle one of the worst roundabouts in the world, the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. Well, this guy wrote back then, but can it handle the magic roundabout in Swindon, the UK? Well, Tesla just released this video of Tesla's full self-driving supervised doing exactly that. And to people that are not familiar with this roundabout, Swindon has 5 mini roundabouts arranged around a central island, connecting 5 major roads with multiple lane and exits. Traffic flowing both clockwise and counterclockwise. This is a roundabout that would give me sweaty palms, and I would even have a hard time understanding what I'm supposed to do in this roundabout. But Tesla's AI brain drove in and out of it 3 times in this little video and handled it like a champ every time. I don't think Gary really understands what Tesla is showcasing here, because it's still supervised. Yes, but the supervisor is not touching anything. The car is handling it 100% autonomously. That is really all that matters, not what kind of safety measure Tesla takes. Tesla will probably also start slowly and safely in Europe when they get approval, and they will, it's only a matter of time, as Tesla is using autopilot technology today is already 10 times safer than the average US driver, so Tesla already have the data to show how much better their system is than a human driver, and people will quickly adapt to the idea of a robotaxi, just like Nick wrote. It's going to come to a point soon where people will refuse to be driven around by a human because it is less safe, and will only prefer being driven by a fully autonomous vehicle. After being driven around by a Tesla Robotaxi for a week, I can confidently say that. Yes, this is something I have been saying for years, that eventually it is not the car that need to be supervised to be allowed to drive on our streets. It will be us humans that are not allowed to drive without an AI system that is supervising us and is ready to take over at any time, because we humans kill about 1.2 million people every single year. The only way to stop that is to make sure the system is much better at driving than we are, and that is exactly what Tesla is doing. And they will drop the safety drivers when they feel confident the system can handle it all, and just have some remote operators that can take over in the rare occasion the car should get stuck or don't know what to do. So when Tesla says slowly at first and then all at once, it is that all at once that Gary just doesn't seem to see. And Uber will not have any meaningful amount of robotaxis in their fleet before Tesla covers like 50% of the US market, no matter if that's going to be by the end of this year, as Elon's claiming, or by the end of next year. because the partners that Uber is collaborating with are all using Waymo's slow approach. So my bet is that Uber will probably be killed off as their biggest revenue generator, the human-driven ride-hailing, will be disrupted much faster than most people think, and by Tesla. But Tesla is showing us that they are expanding much faster than Waymo did. Instead of 4 years, Tesla is doing it in a month. So it is only a matter of time before Tesla has caught up and then overtake and then not looking back. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this new show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Chinese media tested ADAS system in various scenarios, including highway and night driving. Tesla's vision-based system outperformed emerging Chinese brands like Huawei and Xiaomi, as well as traditional automakers. Even with LiDAR competitors, ADAS performance lagged behind Tesla. Yes, LiDAR does not make your system better, it only complicates things. And Elon also replied to this and said, due to law against data export, Tesla achieved the top result in China despite having no local training data. Tesla is adding training data from our simulator and test track to achieve 6 out of 6. Yes, if you care about safety, there is really only one brand to get. And Morgan Stanley analyst said, we struggle to think of any other company as well positioned as Tesla in terms of data, robotics, energy, AI, manufacturing, and supporting infrastructure. Yes, couldn't agree more. Tesla is in a very good position to rise from here on out and become one of the biggest companies in the world, as Tesla is one of the leaders in basically all of these fields combined. And Porsche continues to show bad numbers, as Alex reported on X. Porsche's profits decreased by about 70% with a margin of 5.2%. Porsche only achieved an operating profit of 832 million euros in the first 6 months of the year, down from 2.9 billion euros year on year. So the operating margin slumped to just 5.2%, previous year 16.4%. The US market, where Porsche traditionally has a strong presence, has been particularly affected. Sales there fell significantly, with overall sales declining by 11%. Turnover also fell by 9% to 16.1 billion euros. The best-selling model remains the Macan, which is currently at the end of its production cycle. Porsche is a restructuring case, and Blume should either resign or the executive board should fire him. Yes, not looking too good for Porsche. And Mercedes now want to collect camera and sensor data from customer vehicles in order to improve its assist system and automated driving in the future. What? So they're copying Tesla, and they're only 13 years late to the party. But Mercedes hardly have any vehicles capable of this today, so this will take a long time for Mercedes to get any meaningful amount of data. So they are waking up a bit too late, but at least they are seeing that what Tesla is doing is the only way to improve on full self-driving technology. And if you listen to the mainstream media, you are hearing nothing else about Tesla than how they are down in sales in 2025. Not how they are still completely dominating the EV market. As you can see on this list that AJ shared on X, Tesla continues to dominate the US EV market. The Model Y alone accounts for more than 1 out of 4 EVs sold. Yes, still no real competition in the US for Tesla. And we will get an update from SpaceX on Starship, as Elon wrote on X shortly before the next flight. Talking about the Starship here, I will do a live technical update on Starship, going over progress to date and engineering, production and launch plans for the future. Nice. And Chief Investment Officer Keith Fitzgerald says betting against Elon is like betting against Steve Jobs. He believes that Tesla is heading towards a $20 trillion valuation.
If you take what's happening, you can't obviate the technology. That's why I say today he is probably the Einstein of our time. Betting against Mr. Musk is like betting against Steve Jobs back in the day, Kelly.
Okay, so where are the new models? Where are the cars? This is,
Fair questions.
Do they even bother at this point, or do they just hope to leapfrog into an AI-driven story at this point?
You know, I think that's the easy answer. They hope to leapfrog into AI, but I think the more difficult path is the one that they're actually going to choose, which is they know they've got to release the low-cost models. I think that's probably out there. They know they've got to grow the robotaxis, but also the robotics, the FSD, the energy deployments. You know, those things are all continuing to chug ahead. So calling Tesla a car company now, I think, is overrated. Just like calling an Apple a computer company back in the day turned out to be overrated. NVIDIA, a gaming company back in the day, overrated. Amazon, a bookseller. You know, history is filled with examples that are not obvious until after the fact. I think that's what we're dealing with Tesla, and I hope that my confidence is not misplaced.
And Elon tuned in and wrote, extreme execution is needed, but valuation of 20 trillion for Tesla is possible. And Penny2X wrote on X, people forget that power is literally power. Whoever harnessed the most power from the sun wins. And Elon replied, the math is obvious and unequivocal. 100% of energy over time comes from the sun. Everything else is a rounding error. And Elon wrote on X, as promised, sharing this post about SpaceX and T-Mobile collaboration is now bringing satellite to cell phone connection no matter where on Earth you are. As Elon said back at their announcement.
Entire region or country was lost connectivity because of a severe, hurricane or floods or fires or tornadoes, earthquakes. There's so many natural disasters, obviously. You would actually still have, even if all the cell towers were taken out, your phone would still work.
Now that is a reality. As of July the 23rd, T-Mobile begins charging subscription for T-Satellite. US customers on rival networks can also subscribe for $10 a month. Nice. And even though many like to point out that BYD is selling more EVs than Tesla, well, as I've pointed out before, if Tesla only sold the same amount of EVs as BYD does, with their 40 models, the mainstream media would have slaughtered Tesla. And Jeff also shared this post. One of BYD's 40 plus EV models, their highly covered SUV, sold 64 units in China in June. And now they want to expand into Europe. How do they make any money like this? You won't hear this from traditional media, as it doesn't support the do no wrong China EV Tesla killer narrative. Yes, BYD is not as well run a machine as Tesla. They are still not really earning money on selling pure EVs, and with the methods they are using right now might hinder that for quite a while. And Alex here also wrote on X, this useless Cybertruck somehow managed to tow my 7,000-pound Airstreamer all the way to Oshkosh and has been powering our Airstreams, both air-conditioned units, plus the neighbor's Airstreamer with its own air condition for 3 days straight simultaneously. Oh, those useless Cybertrucks. And Ray for Tesla shared, red hot Xiaomi SU7 is overrated in every category, excluding in insane torque and luxury amenities. SU7 Max scored 1 out of 6, SU Ultra 1 out of 4 in recent testing of a 36 vehicles ADAS system in China. If you think the result is bad, wait until you see the 15 other vehicles that score 0 out of 6, 0 out of 5 and 0 out of 4, including 3 BYD vehicles with God's Eye and 2 NIO sub-brand vehicles with Knob Plus. Yes, the competition in China is high when it comes to electric vehicles, but the competition is not high when it comes to full self-driving systems. Here, Tesla is also way out ahead of everyone else. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest supporters of this channel. My new YouTube members, Blank Conservative, Thomas Bakshik, or something like that, David Dixon, Aaron Young, Ronny Johansson, Henk Deutsch, and my name brother, Lars. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this new show. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. People trying out Tesla's option to have the car pick a random place to drive to where they have never been before.
Tesla, take me somewhere I've never been before. Oh shit, where's it going?
This ought to be interesting.
Let's see where it takes us. Turning right. Let's see.
Well, that's good.
Wonder where it's going to take us. Like, how? It has to be just places we've never been in. Like, I wonder where it's
Headed toward Mooresville.
Yeah. I've been to Mooresville. Wonder where it's going. Pretty sick.
And that narrows it down. There's so many places off this exit. Been to most of them, though. About just about any eating restaurant around here.
It says we're pulling in.
Oh. I guess you've never been there before.
Me?
That is all we have time for in this new show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot so others can find it on YouTube. So please go ahead, hit the like button. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. And if you're already a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for the support. But if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel or become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out as some extra perks like early access, ad-free versions of my videos, exclusive videos. So hit the members button or check out Patreon to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on X. I post pretty much all the news as it comes out and a lot more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. It is also possible to support the show without becoming a member or a patron. There is a donation option down below or on my website bestintesla.com. You can also become an executive producer and get news articles, exclusive videos, behind the scenes and access to all my research charts and spreadsheets also on bestintesla.com, or as simple as hitting the super like button. And thank you for watching, and until next time, take care out there and be nice.